Well, with OpTic absolutely destroying ex-Epsilon on Nuke, they'll want to forget about that one and move on to the second. It is going to be Inferno coming up. We've kind of talked about this already, however. This is a map should be a bit more competitive.
Absolutely so. And again, a lot of this comes down to what OpTic have done, not necessarily in their time off, because obviously they've been playing, they've been practicing, preparing, and so on. But officially, they haven't played Inferno in, forever. They haven't played it since, I think, June. Which is quite a while, especially in terms, right? And again, sure enough, OpTic did go through a period of time where they didn't really attend that many qualifiers or playing that many official games just at all. But with how common of a pick that Inferno is, either because it's just the even playing ground in a best of ones, or if because one team obviously likes to play it, so it gets picked in a best of 3 series. It's weird to see them having been nowhere near it for such a long time. But again, I don't think they would have let it go through as easily if they hadn't prepared for it at all. And again, it's a map that everybody knows how to play. Everybody's been through the ringer on that map particularly. So I'm still gonna side with OpTic just off the fact that MSL plus preparation equals good results 99% of the time.
Yeah, with them actually having that time to prepare, and we've kind of talked about, they've been off, they haven't had to play anything. So MSL is obviously preparing with the team. Inferno is going to be up there on the priority list of maps you're going to have to practice.
It has to be, right? It's such a common common map to come through in any sort of scenario, whether it's best of ones or best of threes. So if they want to be a competitive team, pretty much, I mean, they're going into New York, right? They can't go into a tournament like ESL New York and not know how to play Inferno.
It feels like Inferno is the best of one map, right? It's either that or Mirage come through as the best of one affair. And obviously, we've seen OpTic like to play Mirage. They haven't had the greatest results on it, though. Every time we kind of see them, they either they win very closely or they lose. And it's kind of unfortunate to see that. So perhaps Inferno is a map that if they prove to be pretty good on it today, could maybe go towards it in a best of one show.
Yeah, we'll definitely find out. We're going to learn some new things. I mean, the last time they played it, as I said, was the start of June. That was back in ECS versus Mousesports. Didn't pan out too well. They haven't had the most impressive results on it. So maybe that's why they ended up scrapping it for a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Obviously, I've come back to it now.
Well, we're right into the pistol. It is going to be ex-Epsilon on that CT side with OpTic on the T side. It's going to be a fast play in towards middle from both teams. Victor walks away with 2 kills. Surreal picks off 1 as well. And this is just like a medieval battle.
Yeah, this is really just firing squad on both sides and mid. And not too surprisingly, I suppose, the USPs are going to come out on top with those long ranges between them. Surreal and Crucial down to low HP, but again, you have 2 extra players to work off of, which is going to be, well, make that 3. So it's going to be very beneficial. Cajun left alone with 30 HP, doesn't have the bomb either. Yeah, you're looking at an opening round win for ex-Epsilon.
Unless there's an ace clutch from Cajun.B this time.
Yeah, no,
just not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Timing favors Spellin, and he gets his first of the round as well. So
yeah. Much better from ex-Epsilon. They do get a pistol win. I don't think they had one on Nuke. I think they lost both. So
yeah, they did.
So there we go. Much better already. Let's see if they can continue that, though, as OpTic not going to go for the force buy, it seems. They're going to go for the more conservative approach and get that buy moving into round number 3.
Yeah, not having a bomb plant here doesn't allow you to potentially do what actually ex-Epsilon did on Nuke, right? Buy 2 rifles, an SG. To actually get a damn good buy-in, but 3rd round buy-in, not the end of the world for OpTic by any means. They're going to go straight up into mid. Crucial's going to spot them out initially, goes back for more. He wants some money in his pocket, finds 2 SMG kills. Okay, waiting around the corner. We'll connect with 2, and Nico left alone has picked up an MP9, and that's actually a fair bit of money. Considering that they didn't really invest anything at all, can be pretty happy about it. Actually add some more to it? No, not going to happen.
So, especially getting a run 3 buy here for OpTic, they don't really require an op. I don't think MSL is going to be the type of opper on the T side of Inferno that's going to have a lot of impact. So
I think that's very true.
I think if you're just going with a 5 rifle setup, I think that's the right call. So 3rd round buy certainly works here for OpTic.
Yeah, they can be super potent. And yeah, I think what you mentioned as well is a fairly important point. The fact that just as from the get-go, regardless of how good you are, offing on T-side Inferno is going to be a bit of a challenge. And MSL not necessarily the guy who jumps into angles as much. Look at Spellin though. This is aggressive.
Yeah,
this is a nice flash from Surreal as well. Only good for 1 though, but the follow-ups are here. At least they were for a time being. Cajun and Config finding shots through the wall. actually give the man advantage back to OpTic.
I like that, though, from ex-Epsilon. There's a three-man peek in towards second middle, great flashbangs. I mean, they just lose the engagement, sadly, but I like the idea. I want to see more of that.
Absolutely, for sure. I think we're seeing there's far too many CT sides on Inferno that have all the focus whenever they want to go aggressive, that it has to be towards Banana and nothing else. But there's definitely parts of this map that feel not necessarily unexplored, but underutilized in how you can go about it. And I think what ex-Epsilon showcased there is a very cool idea. Just didn't pan out this time. It does obviously put some extra thoughts into the heads of OpTic, though, in terms of what they can expect going forward. Is if this is going to be a notoriously or viciously aggressive CT side from ex-Epsilon, or if they're eventually going to fall back, and how OpTic will potentially deal with it. For now, though, they've decided to stack over towards that A bomb side and just hope for the best. Hope that they get OpTic running into them. That's not going to be the case, though. Smokes and flashes go in, and an open B bomb side is readily available for OpTic here. So bomb's going to go down, and the two remaining players on the CT side, they're just going to hang back and see if they can hold on to these weapons going into the next round.
So OpTic do win their first gun round, and weren't really tested too much off the back of that early peak. That was fine, but other than that, OpTic weren't really tested too much in the end. So pretty easy pick up for their first gun round, and we'll move into the next one with Epsilon, hoping to save on to these weapons. OpTic not in a position to hunt, so I mean, saving these weapons should be pretty easy for Epsilon. So 2-1. T-side Inferno, you know, traditionally in the past would be very hard on the older version. I feel like it's much more balanced now as well. You see a lot of Bananas, a little bit easier to contest now, obviously, with it being wider, less... No, I do remember on Inferno just that annoying little corridor that used to be on the side of Inferno with like the pillars and the roof was up. It was very easy for the CTs to take control of Banana back then.
Yes.
Especially since you could re-smoke it from a site, so...
It became very stale because you knew that it could never really go towards B.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you could try, but you're going to get smoked off every single second of the round. So you're either walking into B through a smoke or you're just not going B.
Yeah, definitely some of the changes being made to the map that have been beneficial. I'm very much a fan of having open skyboxes for the majority of the maps, but yeah, it definitely presented a bit of a problem in that scenario.
Yeah.
So yeah, finding the good balance is all we're looking for, and Spellin so far has created some disbalance by knocking down MSL. First frag go in the way of ex-Epsilon.
Good start coming in. We see a lot of teams pick up the glass cannon because, you know, you just have a whole lot of impact, especially if you're going up against a team that doesn't have an AWP to challenge you. The glass cannon can definitely be a potent purchase. But we'll see if he can get anything more done as they start to run in towards his position. Tessus is going to be dropped to the wayside. Nico able to come back in, but Victor is there standing tall, but not for long, as Config will sweep him under the rug. It'll be a 2v3 with a man advantage, still standing on ex-Epsilon, but the bomb has been planted for OpTic, and they have time to get into post-plant positions. Config's going to go for the op. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do with this, as he has been spotted running towards New Box. Smoke comes in to cover off his vision towards the ruins as Molotovs come in, they clear the positions. He tries to throw that smoke to fake that he can still be there, but he's still behind New Box, still taking fights and not landing anything. As csgo, the last man standing, 1v3, but they overwhelm his position. And a pretty well executed retake there from ex-Epsilon.
Absolutely so. Looking definitely more comfortable here on Inferno than what they did on Nuke.
Definitely.
Seeing improvements step by step. And for OpTic, again, need to find their footing here. They still have money to potentially buy here. And as you said, if the mantra is going to be, or if the thought process is that they don't need an op to really make things work on this map, they're going to have a lot more buy rounds in. What you normally see, Cajun's going to have to go for a Galil. Same thing with Config, but they do get at least a couple of smokes in there and 3 AKs. So this is enough to set up for an execute. And you don't have as many Molotovs as you would have liked to clear out that many areas, but could still work nicely. Crucial's going to be very aggressive with this peeks into mid. Nico seemingly forgetting the fact that Crucial already fired a couple of shots towards his direction. gets picked off rather easily. So, man advantage lies with the CT side once more.
Really nice smoke coming in there from the B-bomb side itself that just lands on top Banana. It's just one of those smokes that just doesn't work on 64 tick. It's just never going to get that to work. So if you're going to try it at home, make sure you do it on 128 tick servers. But it's going to be a push in towards the B-bomb site. Spellen will drop MSL, a second coming in as well from the boost, and Victor peeks through to help him. So initially a grid hold here in the B-bomb site, but they've still got to try and get rid of Cajun B. And well, they've done that pretty successfully so far. They're just holding him off, and eventually Victor will take him down. So great B hold. Nice smoke towards top Banana, then gives them time to position towards the back of the bomb site. They get the boost over the top, and Spellen goes to town. Taking away 2, and Victor assists him when the going gets rough.
Yeah. Now we're getting to a point where we need to start seeing OpTic getting into forward positioning necessarily without getting picked apart before they set up for these executes. They're not getting a whole lot of space. See now with the Nico, that's probably going to continue. Nice shot from Crucial.
Really nice shot. It always feels like it's always scary peeking mid on Inferno from the CT side on the ult. It feels.
Yeah, it's just like feels like at any given time there could be somebody down in Vietnam just waiting for you. The second you peer away from it, somebody's going to pop up, one-shot you.
Yeah, it's the problem is it's very spawn dependent. If you get an excellent spot on the TE side and a pretty lackluster one on the CT side, getting towards mid can be deadly for the CT player. So good kill from Spellen. He's loving these boosts. Victor's really putting him in great positions on this B-bomb side. They are against pistols, so it's all about limiting the casualties, not allowing OpTic to get anything done really. Smoke goes in. Crucial. Just sending back over towards Lon. This shot coming in though, looking for the follow-up, but it's Config. It does take away Crucial. Not able to fall away, so the flash comes around the corner. NK with the Galil trying to do a lot of damage with it. He has got that first kill. Looking for the second, but goes back to the more passive stance on the A-bomb side. Tessis has recovered the AWP of the fallen body of Crucial. So a slight chance to do more damage here for OpTic into what should have been a round that has been won cleanly by ex-Epsilon. But Tessis has got another kill on the AWP towards Pit. Surreal with too much off the top. NK inside of the bomb site already with 1 kill, but he needs more than that. And there is his second. Tessis moving close with the Glock in towards the site, and NK grabs him as well. Perfectly played on the A-bomb site there from NK. 5-1 for ex-Epsilon.
Now then, buy comes in from OpTic, and well, if we're gonna avoid, I guess, a repeat of what we saw in Nuke, we need the T side here to get into the groove of things. As it stands right now, it's been very much a one-way. Well, it's been one-way traffic. It's been all going in the way of Epsilon. It's only really the aggressive push in towards second mid that didn't necessarily pan out. Let's see how it pays out now. Nades exchanged in Banana. Nico taking a fair chunk of damage from that, and Config's going to fall again. Crucial's been so active in middle there. I'm a little bit surprised by the fact that OpTic aren't expecting it at this point.
It's such a passive stance here in the B-bomb side that one smoke towards CT would be enough to take the bomb site realistically here for OpTic. The boost might come in. I love when CT players throw the smoke themselves that lands in front and they can just move through with a flashbang. You're almost guaranteed at least 1 kill in that position. Although Crucial is going to fall towards the A-bomb site. It doesn't really matter though, as the rest of the push is coming in towards B from OpTic. It's Surreal that takes away MSL, and they'll keep the man advantage on the CT side. Bombs in the smoke though. They're going to have to try and recover that, and that's not going to be easy. Nico, his second attempt, he does get the smoke. And it will be the bomb plant coming through for OpTic.
Now then, can they actually hold it off the retake? It's going to be slow though. NK just right now making it to CT spawn. There's still obviously time for ex-Epsilon to work with here, and they do have utility as well. They seem to be very worried about the fact that there could be a potential flank from OpTic. This finds one, nearly makes the connection over to Surreal. The tower here from OpTic's side actually just going to fall off of it, and Well, that was it.
Yeah, the defuse is enough to force these two players to have to try and spam through the smoke. And obviously the lineup comes in and makes it really easy for ex-Epsilon. So they're up 6-1. OpTic struggling here, but they have got another chance at a buy. The loss bonus starting to build up. And yeah, they've got a creek here on the CT side. And we've talked about how that can be really, really potent. So we'll see if that is the case moving in here. OpTic are going to have to try and come up with something. If they have prepared Inferno, well, we're not really seeing it just yet. This is a good chance to show us.
Now then. Nades not being as effective this time around for Epsilon, and Tessa's going to be happy about that. Made his way all the way to the top of Banana. So early control at least given. We'll see though, double ops out on ex-Epsilon to make any sort of I guess curiosity peak coming out from OpTic that much more dangerous. But yeah, very different approach here. Crucial, not peering around either mid or apartments to see if he can find an early frag. So the space here given to OpTic could at least allow them to set up for some good executes. Let's see if they actually have some in store.
Oh, NK covers off his drop with a USP shot. I like it. With the smoke coming in towards short, grenade goes over the top of the hay bales, and it's going to land on 4 players at OpTic, doing so much damage. What a grenade that was, as they do line up for Surreal. He'll get 3 kills. Cajun.Bet, Config, and MSL, they all bite the dust, and Tessus nearly meets the same fate, but Crucial comes in for that kill. NK finishes off Tessus, and another excellent haul from ex-Epsilon.
Well then, so are you starting to get nuke vibes?
Yeah, but the other way around.
Yeah, I mean, we might be getting to that third decider on train quicker than we anticipated with how this is going. Obviously, OpTic is completely crushing ex-Epsilon on nuke, and right now they're being given the same treatment on Inferno so far. We were, I guess, being hopeful, remaining hopeful for OpTic's side. They've had a lot of prep time leading into this, and we kind of assumed that they would have sorted out their Inferno.
Well, if you're a team that it might have to play against OpTic in ESL1 New York, Inferno is looking like a pretty good map. Yeah.
Definitely don't want to play nuke, though. We'll see, though, if this can hold up for the ex-Epsilon players. Again, even though they haven't gotten up to 7-1 start, we've definitely seen teams being able to crumble eventually. And OpTic probably would be okay with 5 to 6 rounds to play out the CT side. Starting to turn the tide here with only pistols and a bit of utility might be a little bit tough. We'll see though. And comes the execute. It's going to be heavy focus on that AAPS, and there's always 2 players, or already 2 players on the side of ex-Epsilon in an excellent position to do something with this. Surreal being one of them. Oh, and he gets ganged up on though.
Yeah, they just bully him. Surreal's gone. Cajun.Bet takes his head off. And NK looking over the tops of the smoke, but he doesn't see anyone. He takes a jumping shot from one of the players, and Config peeks into the open, taking him away in the CZ. And these pistols are so strong. Config, it's a game of gun game. Switching weapons left, right, and center, and suddenly it's all on Spellen, who has to get away from this.
Epsilon actually had pretty good positioning to deal with this. And instead, it's looking to be a clean sweep from OpTic in the unlikeliest of ways. Nice execute, though. Again, one of the many variations we see on an Apps take, this time with the wall of smokes into pit that's basically going to section off anyone who's playing inside there. On OpTic's end, they can happily wait all the way until the smokes fade again. They can work out with weapons from pit. It's always going to be a favored position. So very well done, and that's going to net them a second round. Much needed one as well. That was quite the streak ex-Epsilon had gone on.
Well, OpTic, that'll be their second. And their most convincing round win comes off the back of just pistols.
As you would expect, right?
Of course, it is CSGO. After all, the pistols are so strong in this game.
Quite prominent.
Even though the CZ had that period where, when it was first initially announced into the game, it was just unbelievably good, right? They obviously nerfed it, and then people just stopped using it completely. And then they kind of realized, wait, hang on a second, this gun's still good.
Yeah.
Then they had to nerf it again.
It goes in a lot of it goes, it's an ebb and flow with the weaponry. I mean, I think we're seeing more and more pistols getting different kind of love. Again, it just takes you a while to go away from what you're used to and what you're happy with, and also consider the fact that Valve has oftentimes gone with the approach of maybe they don't necessarily nerf the current, flavor of the month pistol. They'll just buff something else that makes you use that, and then that eventually gets the label of being overpowered, so it gets nerfed. And you go back to using what was already considered the strongest thing in the past because, well, it was damn good, and it still is. It just hasn't been touched because there was something better out there for you.
Yeah, the Tech 9, there was a period where that was just ridiculous as well.
Oh, God, yes. It's a bit of a nightmare to watch at times. Or at least to play against.
Yeah. CS fans are not exactly the biggest fans of change.
No, and I think that's still fair to...
Yeah. I remember when everybody was just losing their minds when the sound changes came in.
Oh,
and
right,
if we go back and just take a look at the sounds, it just sounds so bad.
It sounds really terrible. It sounds like tin can sound, right?
The USP was awful, but it still felt good to get a headshot with that, right?
Yeah.
It will be Chewbacca on Victor actually taking away Nico, and it will be into a man advantage on that CT side to play with. Under a minute left. OpTic not really having the same success on the rifles as they were with the pistols.
At least for the time being, there is an opening for them to attack this A bomb site with two players making the rotation over from the B bomb site. Cruz is going to miss his first engagement as well. But now, the longer it takes for OpTic to get into this, the stronger the defense is going to get for Epsilon. Ex-Epsilon. And you can see 3 players established with the crossfire on the site. And actually, Victor's rotating back towards B. He feels like this is taking a little bit too long. Maybe they will have swung back over towards B. Just going to drop smoke and then run back here as the execute comes in from OpTic.
Well, Surreal, he will pick up Tessa's. Cage should be able to find one on towards NK, but Config continues to have good work, but jumps up in the middle of the bomb site. Crucial is able to walk away with at least one, but the bomb is planted, and suddenly it's a 2v2. KGB's position is so difficult to deal with. It's such a strong position, especially with MSL, and Victor doesn't spot him.
Yeah, smoke just faded though, kept him actually alive, obstructed the vision of MSL. Oh, he knows though. This is a perfect way of going about it. Cajun's burning, open for Spellin. That's perfectly done.
Yeah, that's how you deal with that. MSL misses the shot. Well done from Victor and Spellin, really.
Yeah,
that retake was well played.
Very well done. And that's not one of the typical Molotovs that you've practiced the lineup of necessarily. You kind of wing it.
Figure it out, yeah.
Yeah. But it's a narrow amount of space they can throw it into, because if it's on the side of the wall, it doesn't burn through, right? So it's not going to be the easiest one to hit, and also you don't want to throw it in a position where you're completely open and just
that's something
inviting Cajun to shoot you.
Yeah, exactly. But that's something that pugs, playing a lot of pugs, can actually develop a good skill, is starting to have a feel for what sort of Molotovs or flashes I can throw on the fly.
Absolutely. Practice makes perfect. Just playtime makes at least close to perfect.
Yeah. Oh my God, that is filthy from Spellin.
Actually goes
Flick
back
through the
for
wall.
more.
Headshot lands, and yeah, he has the audacity to try it again.
It's like, it's just 2 Molotovs lying there. It's fine. I can go back for more. Yet again, OpTic have been picked off so early on in these rounds by the ops of Spellin and Crucial. Regardless of where they find themselves on the map, it feels like Epsilon are more or less starting off each and every round with a 5v4. Smoke drops down as well. There's still 2 players. Victor hasn't decided to fall off. That's one of the benefits you have, obviously, with this early man advantage. And OpTic just seemingly want to set up for a quick execute over towards B here. Smokes are going to fly out. A couple of Molotovs are going to follow. We'll see if they can actually find a hole in this defense.
Well, Spellin will pick off Config. Victor able to step in. Another great shot from Spellin. He is having an excellent round. And he does finish it off with the quad kill. Spellin on another level, really, in that round out. They'll be looking for more of that as they continue here on the CT side. And Spellin's always been a player that has that potential, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, he's one of the players who've bounced around a little bit more than the other Bulgarians. Usually they've been, I guess, pretty tight-knit in terms of who they play with. He's one of the first who started straying out from just playing with people from the same country.
I feel it's because perhaps in Wendigo you've always had sort of ships in there and Poison also that you don't really have the space for another opper.
Yeah, it's very true. I mean, Bubble was used to op as well.
Yeah.
He's obviously still around there. But yeah, there's no doubt that Bulgaria are able to produce some pretty damn solid Counter-Strike talent as of late. Well, obviously have the superstar in Cirque over in North America doing great things with energy. Now then, we've gotten 30+ seconds into the round, and OpTic have yet to lose a player, so I feel like this is an improvement. It's also a bit of a different look from ex-Epsilon. It's just one player over towards the B bomb site. That's Spellin.
Oh, I'm just waiting for it. I'm just waiting for this flick again.
Question is if he feels dastardly enough to go for this because he doesn't have backup, or if he's just waiting for somebody to actually peer into him. Well, still works out. And Cajun gets picked off in apps as well. You can see the smoke setup over towards A. It doesn't really pan out, but Spellin with that one frag buys time.
Well, they're going to deal with him this time, though. The Molotov going in towards the position, but a great flash keeps Nico away from him at the moment, and nearly the second shot being landed there from Spellin. Luckily, Crucial comes in, and Victor will find success on towards MSL. So 10-2, ex-Epsilon looking on fire here in Inferno, and OpTic not looking like they've even got a slight spark.
Yeah, it is quite the role reversal from what we saw in Nuke, and who knows if this is going to be...
This could be the complete opposite.
Yeah, maybe we're just going to see a close game once we get to the decider here.
It's kind of like a coin toss of which way it's going to go.
Yeah. Right now, though, Pause comes in. OpTic needs to talk things through, and it makes sense. They haven't found a lot of success here on the T side. And I have to give a ton of credit for ex-Epsilon. They've been pretty damn proactive with how they've played the CT side. A lot of it comes down to the two ops, how well they've been doing in order to find early picks. This time, surprisingly enough, I wouldn't have been against, I suppose, the idea of having Spellin being dropped an op with how he's playing over towards that B bomb site. So him getting back on an AUG instead of having Crucial, for instance, drop an op for him. A little bit interesting to see, but yeah, right now it doesn't seem like ex-Epsilon can make too many mistakes. They're actually swapping up positions as well. So Spellin's towards mid this time.
Perhaps no, they're going up against the lower buy. That could definitely play a factor.
Absolutely.
There's going to be a push up towards top middle from OpTic as they start to run on edge. Spellin obviously doing work with the AUG as well. 2 kills come his way. He looks back over towards short, has the help of NK on top of the balcony who can drop the bomb and the second player as well. And it's all on Nico. Poor Nico with the Deagle on his own. He is finished off. It's 11-2 here. And when we are looking towards Train, and I think we have to sort of turn our attentions towards that map at this point.
It does feel that way.
That it's kind of scary for OpTic, honestly, with the way the double op setup is working and Epsilon have that potential. Train's a map that could be very potent on.
Yeah. Again, it all comes down to the fact that
MSL's yet to get a kill.
Yeah, they need to be able to establish the economy, though, to get double ops up, right? Yeah. But yeah, as you said, MSL on 0 kills so far. It's not doing them any favors.
I didn't notice that up until then, so it's kind of shocking, actually.
But to be fair, it doesn't really feel like anyone on OpTic have been able to get too much done of anything, and that's the first time we see Crucial getting punished for this kind of brazen peek into mid. Nico finally ready for it. It's been caught out a couple of times. We'll see if OpTic can actually turn the tide of things now that they have a man advantage. And they kind of need to as well if they want to stay in this.
11-4 is recoverable. I think anything worse than that is.
Well, Surreal. Peering into mid is not going to spot anything, but might have an idea that something's going on. And K flashed into apps, doesn't spot anyone either. Smoke goes down, so that's a pretty clear indication that something might be going on. I'm not really sure what Surreal wants to do. If he wants to make a bit of a tower with the Victor, seems like Victor denied his request. But still, there's no movement off of this on the side of OpTic. Look at this. The rotation is coming from ex-Epsilon as well. There are 4 players on this A bomb site.
Yeah, just one smoke over towards A, and the rest of the troops from OpTic start to sprint in towards B, and it's completely empty. So, correct call here from OpTic. They've got the great read on this. Eventually, they will realize there's no one here, but Victor is sprinting up banana with the rest of his team here. And oh my god, Nico. He's seen that. He's dropped pretty low. He doesn't die. That is unbelievable. Eventually, he will. But he should have died a lot faster than that.
Yeah, 100%. Surreal still going to connect this shot onto Cajun. 2v3.
eats a grenade in the process.
Yeah, low HP.
Cyril is trying to make his way back in. 11 HP on him. NK, his teammate, on 100, so slight chance here. They've both got kits, but only one flashbang to play with. They can't force any of these positions. And it will be Testis and MSL who peak together, and MSL will get his first kill. It is 11-3 here as OpTic do stand a slight chance of recovering something on this first half. If they get 11-4, you know, we've seen comebacks happen from that scoreline quite often, so
yeah,
it's not done yet.
I'll see, though, if I guess OpTic can start a run, if you want to call it that. Towards the end of the half, if they can make it to 4, that would definitely mean a whole lot for them. Ex-Epsilon, though, definitely woke up after the rough time they had over on Nuke. Cajun going to peer up in apps. NK playing same position as we've seen him in similarly, and it does seem like they're going to go for the same kind of apps execute as we saw a little while ago. NK. He's traded out, but crucial from Library. Connecting with both. It's a job well done. Still needs to deal with the one player on site, and they know that. And they've done so.
Oh, a crucial playing with the smoke still takes a kill, and Nico's trying to look for it, but he just can't see anything. So he'll hide in behind the smokes, and still 3 players to collect. It's going to be very difficult for Nico, but he finally finds Crucial. He will look for Spellin. His counterpart Victor. So he has the info of both players. He's got that kill on the Victor, so not falls into a 1v1. Nico certainly stands a chance in winning this with Spellin having an AWP. Molotovs go back and forth. Nico has unlimited amounts, it seems, as the bomb finally gets planted. And this would be the quad kill for Nico as Spellin starts to get close in towards short. Nico has a great position to deal with this, especially having the AWP. Spellin's got to be very quick, and he can't quite get the angle. He'll spam through the wall, and Nico just holding this. He can't be spotted. He's hidden by the pillar. And eventually Spellin is going to be forced to try and take this fight, and Nico spotted him drop into the pit, and Nico finds the headshot. What a clutch from Nico. Spellin does get it from the grave, but it's an 11-4 half as OpTic do recover something.
That was a much-needed one as well. Great clutch from Nico. 4 kills in that round puts him on a total of 7. That kind of paints a picture of how rough it's been for pretty much everyone on the side of OpTic in terms of finding frags. But 4 rounds, you'll definitely take that if you can. As you said, it's not a score that's unfamiliar with actually having comebacks being completed from. So if OpTic can win a pistol here, might be in for a bit of a game. But I think it has to be said, T side for OpTic on Inferno, not as impressive as we would have liked to see, but might be down to the fact that ex-Epsilon did play a pretty solid CT half. Can't really escape that fact.
It was excellent indeed. We had some incredible plays, but it's going to be the pistol coming right up as Surreal. It's actually going to be Victor who takes that kill onto towards MSL. Man advantage for the T side. csgo is going to be sitting on the bomb site with a great headshot. Make it 2 coming in from csgo, a 3rd coming in, a 4th from csgo, and this is not fair. csgo finds all 5, and that's a ridiculous ace coming in.
That's OpTic with 2 pistol round aces in 2 maps so far. One from Config on Nuke, and Cajun doesn't really want to be left behind in that regard. That's an absolutely crazy hold.
That's unbelievable. This one here, oh my god. This is difficult to hit on this 5th player. He's just in the air.
And I guess we talked about it when we saw the scoreboard, right? The fact that the individuals on the side of OpTic haven't really had too good of a time. Cajun is sitting on 18 frags, but I'm pretty sure Cajun alone has more frags than the rest of the team. That's how it feels like.
What a beast.
Well, it was definitely needed for OpTic as well. Nico, a little bit of an unconventional way of peeking into it with a jump, but still gets 3 kills against his unarmored opponents. Config wants to join in on the fun, finds 1, spots the 2nd, and well, somehow makes it work with a bit of a garden hose spray. Well, there we have it. OpTic, flawless anti-eco. Much money built up as well. And now the 2nd round buy comes in from T side. He got a little bit lucky to get the headshot there as he, I think that's the mouse wheel jump coming into play, but we'll take that any day.
Yeah, well, this big lead that Epsilon had can very quickly start to be chipped away at.
Absolutely. Again, losing around like this, allows OpTic to pretty much get a 2-for-1, barring something absolutely crazy, and then you're looking at just a 3-round deficit.
So a very important round coming up for the T side. They have got utility to work with. They've still got 4 smokes.
Yeah. The one upside here for Epsilon is the fact that OpTic have gone the greed route. You can see 4 SMGs still in play, even though they would have had money to upgrade at the cost of utility. So they need to play close up here, and obviously the Molotov chunking some damage is going to give sound cues for OpTic to play off of. I think that nade was intended to go a little bit further and would have been significant damage onto Victor, but nonetheless, remains somewhat unscathed. That's a nice swing from Surreal. He's had a couple of those. He had those on the first day as well with Smell Sports. Well, the one rifle is gone, and I don't really see a world where Nico and Tessus can do too much to contest this retake.
Yeah, that basically is just off the back, if not upgrading to the rifles. You can't really challenge the rifles with MP9s and UMPs too effectively, so ex-Epsilon will be given a 12th. Although the buy from OpTic will still come through into this next run, so it's not done yet for ex-Epsilon, but they'll be pretty happy about finding that nevertheless. Ooh, Nico doesn't have a nade, but they're all... Oh, never mind. Strel comes in behind, spots Nico, and 1 bullet to the cranium is enough. So 12-6 here. Epsilon looking for 4 more. That would force us to the 3rd map. Spellin is currently on 21 and 10, having a great performance. The rest just below, but there's not much of a disparity between the remaining 4 players. As it is 12-6, double the score of OpTic. But I said that we're going to have a bind in this one, but they've decided to go for just pistols and 1 set of Kevlar on config. So really, we're looking at 13-6 here.
Spellin getting early control in apps all by his lonesome is eventually followed by Surreal. Tessus boosted up here. He's just going to have to hope that he gets a drop on at least 1 player that might peer into mid. For now, though, it seems like the heavy focus is going to be over towards A, at least for OpTic, with 4 players there.
Yeah, config the only player with Kevlar as well. The only player towards B.
Well, bit of a standoff here. And config's about to run into a lot worse of a time, potentially. Oh, actually finds the drop. Could have punished. Okay, there, but he escapes with his life. All is good in the hood.
Well, Smoke is ready to go for the top in towards long. Just outside library, and Victor is going to be the front man into the charge. You'll see a stack right here, and good chance for OpTic to pick up a few kills, but it's dealt with. There we go. Well by ex-Epsilon. It's all on config, 1v3, and not a whole lot to save other than Kevlar. So he's going to sit outside of that A-bomb site and see what he can find. Crucial is close towards Boiler. Config starts to make his approach in towards this area. There's an AK line on the floor, 2 of them, in fact, so he has his choice of scoop. He will eventually look towards the stairs, but Crucial grabs him. And yeah, nothing worth saving, but what you could do is head over to GG.Bet and use the code SAVE in all capitals to ensure your bet with no rejections, no business hours, and no waiting time. So make sure you head over to GG.Bet.
Yeah, ensure that bet. And, well, that might come in handy if you've been on OpTic's side for Inferno at the very least. We'll see, though. If there's still fight left in them. 13 rounds for ex-Epsilon, so not a whole lot of room for error here for the Danish lads. Start us off, a lot of utility exchanged in Banana, but focus right now, MSL in mid with that op. Okay, and we kind of highlighted the fact that he didn't have the best of times on the T side. Maybe this is going to be where he turns it around. He was really good on Nuke with the op in hand.
He definitely was. So it's not like he's having a bad day. That was just a bad first half. And while they have put a lot of stock in the rest of their CT side here, a lot of confidence in it, and they're going to have to try and Walk away with a good half here as MSL. He's going to be pushing in towards Spellin, and that's going to be a good kill. Playing with fire, eventually walks away with his reward. Another push is going to come in towards B. Tessus has to try and hold it off. He's got a first kill, looking for a second, so close to connecting it, as Victor will stand tall on 12 HP. He's dropped through the smoke though, as Nico will end his life. It's still looking so difficult here with MSL on the flank. He'll be caught by NK, and the bomb plant attempt is coming through by Crucial. NK being sprayed through the smoke. Crucial also being spammed, but this time through the coffins, and that might just be where he ends up.
So, OpTic still have time, and they still have numbers to play with. Well, at least they did. Nico falls, NK still reigns supreme, but down to 8 HP. Now it gets really dicey.
It does indeed, with NK just being on 8 HP. One waft of air would be enough, but it is going to be occasion B that gets rid of him. And that will be another on the board for OpTic. So they make the decision to go with a low buy into the last run. They make sure they had every weapon available to them, all the utility, and obviously it works out for them. But the bomb plant coming in from ex-Epsilon does afford them a buy here. So they have got the AWP in the hands of Crucial. AK's available to the rest, along with quite a bit of utility. So the troublesome start for OpTic in the second half, towards the end of after the pistol really, has left him wanting in terms of weapons on Nico here. But the rest, you know, they'll be okay.
OpTic needs to start a bit of a run here. Early nades again being exchanged in Banana, and rather quick tempo here. Up, and it seems like actually, yeah, Tessus is a bit caught out. Still going to win out the duel, though. That's very well done. Spellin falls, and nades continue to be thrown back and forth here. Might give a window for Tessus to actually bail out. Instead, it's actually going to be Nico to run into his death. Victor doing a good job here to maintain the status quo. And eventually, OpTic decide that they don't want to fight this anymore.
Yeah, dangerous position, Banana. Too many nades coming in. Crucial to get rid of MSL, though. Wins that AWP battle. That'll open an avenue of approach in towards the A long position. Smoke goes in for Modo. This is isolated config. He has literally no help at this point. He is stuck alone on short. He has to frag out. He has to find more than one here to make this realistic for OpTic. He's going to take a shot for the wood. He doesn't get anything, and that's it over. That'll be 14-7 here for ex-Epsilon. No chance for OpTic. They've got to save.
Yep. And even with those two rifles saved here, not in a very pretty situation for OpTic in terms of what you can rebuy into. Tessus is going to be able to drop a weapon, but $200 on config, 150 on Nico. Yee.
So 14-7. Ex-Epsilon, they did lose a few there, but they're still in the prime position to take us to trim. And like we said, that could be a map that ex-Epsilon can compete on yet again if they have a similar performance here. They stand only 2 away from that train, the final map, but OpTic, this is kind of like a last stand by from them, really.
It really is.
Lose this one, money's not going to be great, and there'll be Epsilon on map point. Well, Banana has been taken. Molotov towards the top, nades in behind. This time, not much resistance from OpTic. They can't really afford to do so.
Yeah. They just need to hold on to what they have. They have 4 smokes right now, and you just want to see that being saved as much as possible. I think MSL actually is running over just to throw a smoke, and then he's going to bail out again. Just to shore up the defense. Going to wait as long as possible. So with the first smoke going down at about 105, means that the remaining utility on the CT side is actually going to be lasting for a fair bit of time. Config. It's not on the right bomb site, though, so the Molotov is not going to be used, but...
Yeah, Nico's ready to throw his smoke as well straight away.
Yeah.
But the timing's got cut off, yeah. The timing's caught him off guard, and MSL is ready for the first kill, though. Test is able to step in with 2 frags, as Crucial finally gets something back for the T side, as Nico will finish off the rest. It's 14-8, a good recovery there from OpTic. And yeah, the timing may not work for Nico, but they hold on well. And if you are just tuning in, the first map was actually a win for OpTic, 16-2 on Nuke. So it's a little bit different here on Inferno. There was a chance there for Epsilon to close it. Still have that chance here. But realistically, looking at what both teams have brought to the party in round number 23, we're looking at most likely an OpTic win here.
Well, definitely be the case. We've seen stranger things happen. First shot just gonna miss, but Cajun through the smoke finds Spellin, so numbers are already dwindling for ex-Epsilon, and they're not really making a whole lot of headway. Nice shot from MSL, good positioning as well. Config makes quick work of the 2 players from Apps. Only Crucial left, and even though he's started off well, he's got a pretty hefty task to deal with. SG in hand. Ooh, okay, I thought for a second there he would have had an opportunity to find Config, but very quick adaptation from the Danish start to find the headshot.
Yeah, the bicycle position inside of the pit is so strong. You get up on top, the only thing that's shown is your head, but you can see everything on short. Also, you can look up towards the apartments. If you crouch, you can't be spotted from short either. So, definitely one of the most powerful positions. If you are going to be a pit player on your team, make sure to check out Magisk, I would definitely say, if you're wanting to take inspiration from a pro in that position. But Config plays it pretty well as well. There will be 2 kills from Config. Aggressive with the flashbang assist from MSL thrown over the top. Config is just going ham on these players. There's 4 kills. Looking for Spellin for the ace. And he's already had one already in this series. He wants another. It is against the pistols. But still, the way he's done it is still flashy. Spellin cowering away. You never really want to give it an opponent this, but it's come through. Config with the last bullet. Headshots in. That's 5. We have Config on your team. Those anti-ecos become pretty easy.
It does pan out for him quite often, doesn't it? That's the 2nd ace for Config in this series, and with them making it to double figures, still a chance here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we have seen teams choke quite a bit. If OpTic win 6 in a row from here, that obviously would be 9 in a row in total. You know, they could end at regulation 16-14. So ex-Epsilon, they need to realize that is a possibility when you're going up against a team like OpTic. So they are going to purchase another buy into this one. Look at the Krieg, the Galil, AK-47s for the rest. And, you know, quite a bit of utility here. So all things considered, ex-Epsilon will be pretty happy with this buy coming into this one.
Yeah, they definitely should be, all things considered.
Oh yeah, good movement there from GG.Bet. So ex-Epsilon sees control of the apartments early, already having control here. So once you've put the players in there, you can start to manipulate the rest of the map. You can start to see what's going on towards Banana. They haven't really got a whole lot of Banana control whatsoever here. OpTic have forced that away, so that kind of sort of counteracts the control that they've got towards the apartments already. Spellin just hopping through Boiler. Caught in between 2 players. Doesn't fall though, so he stays alive on 12 HP. There's under a minute in MSL. He's going to be looking for a pick. He'll go back in towards middle, and that's where Spellin is finally waiting for him. He will get his reward for his heroic actions through the Boiler position. And Banana control is Epsilon's to play with at the minute. It's really looking good for the side. Doesn't seem they want to go towards A though. They're definitely going to be leaning in towards the A-bomb site. And right now, the csgo is not in an excellent position whatsoever to help Config. So Config is on 22 HP. A Molotov would be enough to drop him, but csgo has got the kill. So Real and Crucial step in with both, and the A-bomb site has fallen. It's a 4v2 here, and OpTic stand no real chance of winning this.
That's one way of doing it. Spellman's still in low HP on the bomb side, but the double peek, or the double setup, might be a little bit too much to deal with. Tessus figures it is. Gonna pick up the op and probably duck out of here rather quickly. Two remaining players on the side of ex-Epsilon should have enough HP to just kind of stay alive in pit.
So there we go, map point for Epsilon here.
Actually, NK, yeah, I was about to say, you lose 80 plus damage from that. I thought he would actually gone further away, or that the bomb was planted and then, well, back into the side if you actually left for pit, but
that doesn't put their money in a great position.
No, it actually doesn't. But at least they've made it to map point, so there's not necessarily a hurry in terms of forcing up and taking too many chances. But yeah, it is a bit of an issue if they were to lose this one. OpTic, they're going to get a full buy-in, but they need to be perfect from this point on.
Yeah, they can't let anything slip. And that's just to get overtime. So definitely a long road ahead of OpTic. You know, what always was going to be after their first half showing. Crucial is going to take away Nico, so first kill goes his way. Looking good so far for ex-Epsilon, no real reply. And they've actually dropped Tessus to 24 HP, along with MSL to 15. So initial damage is great. So Tessus has to make a ballsy play, and that's exactly what that is. 3 kills inside of Banana, and that should just give OpTic the round win.
Yeah, they're very small likelihood of a Spellin and Surreal being able to swing this one back. For now, they've split up, looking to see if they can find any openings anywhere. MSL tucked around the corner of Arch with an op. Even though he's on low HP, could still do damage. Flash is going to be ineffective. Now it's all down to Spellin. Does have the bomb on his back.
I mean, yesterday we were no stranger to overtime. We've definitely seen it come through. There's a real possibility here if OpTic can just be perfect in these remaining rounds. It is going to be Spellin making his charge in towards the B-bomb site. He's got the bomb on his back, but Tessus is in that position. And he will take him down from behind. That's 4 kills for Tessus. I love that banana push. You know, when things are looking rough, it really looked like Epsilon had done enough there in their opening engagements. Tessus knows, well, our back's against the wall. What's the worst that could happen, right? Makes the play through banana and lines up 3.
Yeah, that was nuts. The fact that he finds the third is not to be expected. And the fact that he actually finds 2 with how awkward of a position he needs to find for himself is very, very, very well done. It gives OpTic a fighting chance, and you said it. Economy on the side of Epsilon wasn't too fantastic, and they're back to pistols for the time being. This should be OpTic getting to 12 at the very least.
You'd hope, for overtime.
Yeah, yeah.
You'd hope.
The dream for overtime is still alive, at least.
Yeah, definitely is. And at this point, OpTic will really be hoping for it. It will be csgo boosted up, looking at the barrel towards middle. He will take a dink, though. They check his position, and he's dropped by the P250. He does get 1. Nico nearly lines up 2, but not quite. And so Config stands atop of the balcony. He has to fall in towards the pit. And with Surreal on 5 HP, 1 bullet is enough to drop him, and Config gets 2. All on Spellin, but a 1v2 is possible, especially segregating that player off inside of middle. So it now falls into a 1v1 on the A-bomb site. And MSL can't really rattle that shot off. So Spellin is going to walk up, knows where Config is, goes for the tap, waits for MSL to walk through the smoke. But MSL's not going to do so. That will be death. So Spellin goes back in towards the apartments. And this is where the mind games begin. Who's going to flinch? Who's going to give that small opportunity first? They know they have the bomb here, and Spellin has to come and get it. So that's the advantage for OpTic at this point. Config will stay in the pit. Spellin, I believe, has spotted him. He does dink up Config, eventually dropping him. And he looks to try and grab that bomb. MSL is still on short. Hasn't moved too much from his original position inside of middle. With 17 seconds, eventually Spellin has to walk over that bomb. And right now, he doesn't really know where MSL is. He could be anywhere. So he is going to have to go and plant Civ. MSL springs into action as he comes in from the short area. Still not giving away his position, but Spellen's got the right read. He knows exactly where he is at this point. MSL's giving away the position. Shockers to the box, and Spellen looks to make it happen. 11 HP on MSL. This would be it. Ex-Epsilon looking to take it, and Spellen spamming away. It's so awkward, but eventually it does happen. And Epsilon walk away with a 16-11 win.
16-11, very impressive from ex-Epsilon. Bouncing back from a very rough nuke game and doing so in style.
Yeah.
OpTic, in terms of, I guess we didn't quite get to see if they've really improved their Inferno all that much. They definitely had some harrowing mistakes here and there. So yeah, they need to go back to the lab, figure things out, and come up with a new concoction to really flesh out their play.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, especially for their TSAT. But still, I guess they have some time before they fly off to New York. And, well, depending on how the third map goes, they might have some additional time to work on it for the continuation of this tournament. But yeah, definitely puts us on the third map. Train, I'm a little bit thrown off in terms of what I am to expect here, because the Train is another map with OpTic that we haven't necessarily seen too much of. So
yeah,
can lead anywhere.
Yeah, if Inferno's one of those maps we have got to take from them, that's not exactly a great performance from them. So
yeah,
I'm kind of scared. There is a great double up setup potential here on ex-Epsilon as well. So we're going to have to see if the individuals from OpTic are enough moving on to Train, or will ex-Epsilon get it done in a 2-1 reverse sweep. Join us after the break to find out.